Okay, so, hi, hello, welcome back to another Creepypasta video. Well, welcome back to our Creepypasta story time video, but, same thing. So today, I got a new Creepypasta. Well, it's not really new. It was posted back in, 2017. But people probably haven't heard this one. This one is called The Asylum. So, before we get into it, though, I want to say thank you for clicking on the video, and, let's get into it. So, The Asylum. Far beyond the reaches of our Earth, amongst the eternal aether of the cosmos, last beings of true power and magnitude who lay beyond the comprehension of our minds. Beings that shape and warp the fabric of space, and distort the reality in which we live in. To gaze upon their eyes is to gaze upon the eyes of infinity. To describe their figure is to describe the universe. To witness their power is to witness the power of the cosmos. I was only but a young man when I was first stricken with devilish fever that had previously claimed my family. I was to be considered lucky, as the great plague of bloodletting did not bring about my end. It was only the insanity and fear of the cosmos that came with it that ailed me, and that insanity ails me to this very day, to my kin. The true fever and pain of the plague will be their end. My mother was the first to go. She had sliced her wrist in a fit of hysterical madness while my sister and I were away at school. It was my father who found her. Falling to her body in a futile struggle with some divine interaction would bring them back together. As it turned out, that divine interaction would simply be the contact of my mother's tainted blood. On the night that my father expired, the swelling of blood to his brain caused what I first believed to be delusions, visions of great cosmic and ethereal horrors, fearing their awesome powers over the mind of a man. He took to the blade, ending his life, face down in a pool of plagued blood. My sister was awoken by his fit of insanity, and treaded barefoot into his room, but before the light of her candle could illuminate the void of the room, her feet felt the blood, and she knew. I was the only one who could care for my sister, as we had no other family. Having turned 14 the month prior, my sister was a small, frail child, who could be frightened merely by the sight of her own shadow. She did not last as long as my mother or father, who fought the plague for nearly a week. My sister hardly lasted beyond the third day, and a part of me wished I had never witnessed the fourth. I shall refrain from describing how my sister passed, as the brutality of the gore of the event left me in such fragile mind that I was admitted to the Providence Asylum of the insane. It was here when I first began to experience the true nature of the universe and its unforgiving forces. As I mentioned, I was stricken with fits of madness and insanity, but not by the plague. If such were the case, I would have believed this manuscript would not be here, to unleash the knowledge of horrors that it holds. It was during the first month of my admittance into the hospital that I met an artist by the name of Joseph B. Wilcox. I never learned the reason that Joseph too was admitted to the hospital. Only that he felt that he needed to be there to protect someone, be it himself or family. He was a tall, skinny fellow, a neatly cut head of brown hair, and a pair of delicate blue eyes. His hands were soft and slender, like that of a woman's, a clear sign that he preferred the intellectual arts of painting and clay sculpting over the more physical and manual labors of other young men his age. We became quick friends, realizing that we were one of the more stable bunch within the hospital. Joseph would tell me stories of life in a small village outside of Providence, whose name escaped my thought, and would often gift me with small sketches to decorate the drab and numbing room in which I stayed in. I would tell stories of working in the family shop behind the counter to help reach the jars of sweets that neither my mother or sister could reach, or the kind old woman who often came to purchase candles and soaps, and how she would always find my youthful exuberance a charming quality I should not let go of so easily. 'Twas with the night of March 8th when Joseph entered my room, his footsteps slow and monotonous as he crept to my bedside. I did not hear him enter. I only felt as he laid one of his feminine hands on my arm and shook me. When I awoke to see him standing over me, I shot up, frightened by the scarred and blood-stained face that stood before me. In his madness, Joseph had crafted a shiv from his bed frame and carved queer sigils along his face and arms. His eyes were bloodshot and his mouth curled into a sinister smile. He placed the shiv on my lap and laid his hands on my shoulder, whispering some sort of terrible mantra into my ear. His hand drifted to the shiv, and he beckoned me to join him in a paradise lost a millennium ago. Blood drained from my face, and I felt my arms grow cold as I witnessed a wretched abyss manifest beyond him, and what seemed like that which is beyond the normal world. A rush of hatred and anger overtook me as I plunged the shiv into his gut. The gargled and raspy voice of my once friend slowly fading as he fell limp on the molded and rotting floor. Fear overtook him, and I was too terrified to move my eyes off the body before me. When I finally broke the trance and looked up, the asylum of which I was confined had warped and twisted into a vista of blackened skies and gray earth below me. Above the vast purgatory that I stood floated a being that still haunts me in my thoughts and memories of it, and maddens me in my dreams of it, swirling, churning, gurgling, and writhing like a mass of blackened earthworms in a rotting corpse of a daemon sultan, who so repugantly controlled the skies and cosmos as one. I was amongst a line of predators, and I was not worthy enough to even be thought of as a prey. I felt as the frail mind of mine shattered, my eyes rotting from the sight of such an eldritch terror that no man would ever know. The wardens found Joseph's body and the shiv under my cot, and there was no fighting what was already apparent. The horrors I witnessed remained with me in my life, and when my body shall soon convulse in the noose placed around my wretched throat by the hangman, so too shall the horrors assault me in death, for earth is not our home. Our earth is merely an asylum of the fragile-minded who are too weak to gaze upon the awesome terror and power of the universe. Okay, so that was the story. This one says that it's also part of the Cthulhu mythos, so that's why you're probably wondering why this is happening is involved by Cthulhu. I should have said that before at the beginning of the video, but I forgot. But yeah, I actually kind of like the story. I don't know. I always have kind of like a little fascination with asylums because, like, why would you want to put a bunch of crazy people together in one place? It doesn't really sound like a good idea to me. But who am I to talk? But yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool, and hopefully y'all enjoyed. So I don't really have much else to say. All my links are down below. Feel free to subscribe if you want. I always make creepypasta videos. I like reading stuff, even though I stutter a lot. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, all links down below. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. It helps out the channel, and so thank you for clicking on the video. So I don't have anything more to say. I did want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye everyone.